very, very windy, very, very hot, and we hadn't had any rain for 6 weeks. So let's see what's happened at the crops in the past 3 weeks. Again, this is Alistair Beales, the estate manager, who will bring us up to speed on what's happened in the last 3 weeks.
Thank you, Bob. As you say, things have changed. We've now had just on exactly an inch, about 25 mil of rain over the last week. Temperatures have come down, very welcome, and crop development has recovered. If you look over the field, you can see where the lighter land is. There's obvious crop damage, yield, but I think now we'll have a marketable crop in the better areas, and we're standing slightly better area. You can see the crop is green, it looks well. I think the weaker tillers now will survive, and importantly, I don't think there'll be screenings. I think there'll be a saleable commodity. So we're pretty pleased with damage to this, obviously, but I think it's in time that this crop will be saved.
So now, back in the field of Marisota we were 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago the wind was howling, and we weren't quite sure where we're going to go with the crop. Today the wind's dropped, and Alistair will just talk us through where he thinks this crop's going and perhaps when we're going to get to harvest.
As we said last time, this is a very late drilled crop for us, drilled mid-December, much later than we normally would. Yield penalty for that. That was weather. This is a little bit better ground, less free draining, so it was wet, but the market was saying at that point, we need Marisota. If you can drill it in reasonable conditions, do so, and we did. Slightly alarming those 3 weeks ago. This crop was very dry and struggling, but actually that late drilling is working for us here, in that this crop is not so advanced. I think it will take the moisture up, and we will have quality, and the yield won't be as bad as I feared, because what we find is that, as the farmers will know, each seed produces multiple barley ears, tillers, and what we find is the smaller ones, this one here in the bottom of the crop, 3 weeks ago I was fearing that would be gone. The plant would have bought that to protect the primary tillers and set seed and produce. That's what the plant is trying to do. So either, if it didn't be aborted, this would be very thin and either go out the back of the combine, or perhaps worse, go in the combine, and when it gets to the maltsters it's too thin and our sample is compromised, the quality isn't there. I'm now hoping that these smaller ears, this one here in the bottom of the crop, will now make a sample, and it makes an enormous difference to yield. You can see that's probably 20% of what I'm holding, and if that produces yield, a huge difference. So the later drilled crop, the rain coming as it has, we've been lucky, I think. Still, there's going to be a yield impact, there may well be a quality impact, but things are much better than they were. I would think 15th of July we'll be in here, and hopefully we'll have a malting sample.
So we're back in the crop of Flagon, which you can see is very, very green and looks very, very thick. Has come on tremendously just as from the first views at it. Alistair, what are your thoughts?
Very pleased with this. This is very light free draining sand, as we've explained before. This was drilled much earlier than the crop we've just been in, probably as much as 3 months earlier. This was end of September. But this is behind potatoes, which is a very good break crop for us. We generally find half to a tonne a hectare yield bonus, and we need that because there's fertility which can compromise the crop. If we get the yield, we get the quality and a big heap, which we're very happy about. What you can see on Flagon, and that's a very good ear of barley. They're not all like that, sadly. Probably 38, I think Bob's just counted them, 38 grain sites on there. So that's where the yield comes from. You just don't see that on Otter. If you looked at those ears we saw before on the Otter, they're about half that. So a bit more yield here. This is still becoming an old variety, not the yield of modern varieties, but it's what the maltsters want, it's what people want to drink in their beer, and it suits this light land. So I'm very happy with this crop. I think it's stuck the weather remarkably well. It's now going to fill, so what I feared was we'd have a reasonable yield of poor quality barley. I think now it's going to be what we would call big berried, as it were, nice big bold grains, good malt yield for the maltsters, and quite a lot of beer per tonne, which is what it's all about. So we're happy. Difference in harvest date will be minimal. This will be before the Flagon, before the Otter, so we'll be in here sometime in the first 2 weeks of July, I would think. And for us, importantly, nice lot of straw. Straw vital for fertility on this farm, converting into milk through pigs. So both straw and grain here, we hope. Very pleased.
Back in the middle of Planet, at the top of the hill here, you can see, if you turn around, things in the distance as before. We're now right up here at over 300 feet. Alistair, we were quite worried about this last.
Yeah, this is unusually, this is a second barley. We generally only drill cereal crops, grain crops, potato, maize, sugar beet. Occasionally, to get the rotation right, we need to grow cereals twice in a row. That's what's happening here. Not ideal on this very light land. It's a struggle as to keep the fertility here and to really support the two crops. As you can see, just in front of me, the crop is very thin. A lot of leaf is gone, and the barley relies on green leaf to convert sunlight to energy. The ear itself is very important in barley, so it will be converting that sunlight to energy. But you can see it's a very thin crop, very few tillers. There will be a low yield here, but importantly, I think again, we're in time for the rain, and we'll have a reasonable quality. Thankfully, most of the crop is better. This is a stony bed, lots of those. This is particularly stony bed. And as we can see, looking over the field, it does look considerably better. So being a second barley, this was never going to be at the top of what's a low yielding farm, never going to be at the top of the averages. But it's, given the weather, the rain we've had recently, was just about saved our bacon, I think. Okay, so as we've said before, conservation is hugely important to this farm business, and this is field corner management under countryside stewardship. It's important to us financially. Quite a big cheque comes in every year that I can rely on, regardless of the weather. But that's not just the point. We do actually want to grow what's good for the environment, and you can see it here. The oxeye daisy just going over a bit, but very attractive. We've got Viper's bugloss here. Blue is the rarest colour in nature. This actually isn't particularly, it does vary. Some of them are absolutely striking blue, a wonderful plant, and you can see bees buzzing around there now. I think he's gone, oh, there he is. Great nectar plant, and then over here, looking a bit like a thistle, is greater knapweed, which again, an important nectar plant, and importantly for the public, adds colour, looks great, and that's really important. We're getting public money for this, but the whole policy is swinging around to natural capital for delivering public good, and I really think this does. It's poor land, it's unlikely to produce a crop that maltsters want to buy, and it's unlikely to make us any money. So here it is, in an environmental option, earning more money, but importantly doing everything it should. This is wonderful for the environment.